Hello guys, this is Pixelator and welcome back to another video. And in this video, as you guys might have heard, Kasbo's new album just dropped today, and I'm going to be giving all of the tracks and the album as a whole a review. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So for the first track, Alive, this opener offers a wonderful taste of the rest of the album, with its calm atmosphere, uplifting melodies, and the little ear candy scattered throughout the track. I really loved how Kasbo wasn't afraid to incorporate sounds that don't often appear in, the sort of similar songs, such as, the chanting halfway through the track, stuff like that. So yeah, I'm going to give this an 8. So for this second track, Atlantis, Kasbo really outdid himself here. This track, more than others, is really heavily led by the talented vocalists Shallow and Bjorn, I want to say. The male-female vocal switch introduces a whole new level of emotional depth, really. And even though this track leans in more into the indie pop sphere, Kasbo maintains this beautiful signature, sort of lean back and soak it in style, which is fantastic. The second drop is arguably the pinnacle of the album, just in my opinion, with all the anticipation building up to the beautiful melodies in the drop throughout the latter part of the track. This is currently my favorite song of the year, so I'm going to give this a 10. So for this third track, Varsang, wow, what another banger track here. This one starts out really slow with beautiful piano, gradually evolving to a fuller atmosphere while maintaining a mellow tone. The use of vocal chops is actually quite genius, and it's something I've never seen before. The chords and notes in the song shift according to the previous vocal chop note, creating a beautiful sense of unison and coordination in the off drops. The drops themselves are angelic, featuring a gentle and unique melody that I honestly do not think could have been made by anybody else. So I'm going to give this a 9. Next we have Carry Your Name, and though this track isn't as vocally led as Atlantis, it does feature another beautiful vocalist and some well-written lyrics. Notably, the vocals are played over the second and third drops, which I honestly think worked really well. One aspect of the song that really caught my attention was the gorgeous minimal synths that played in the background throughout the track. I also got goosebumps when I heard the rising melody right before the third drop. And honestly, it's all these little details and the attention to detail throughout the track and this album that really sold it for me. So I'm going to give this a 9. Next track is Drift. This is the one track from the album that honestly didn't strike too much of a chord with me. I wouldn't say it's boring, but it does seem like it was a bit more neglected compared to the rest. The drops and the off drops felt very linear too, which I didn't like, so I'm gonna give this a 5. The next track is I'm in Trouble, and these drops are easily some of the best on the album. Definitely come back after Drift. And once again, the vocals are wonderfully incorporated, and I cannot help but love this song even more for how seamlessly it flows and transitions with the rest of the album. So I'm going to give this an 8. Okay, and the next track is Migration. This is easily, without a doubt, the second best track on the album. And I know I say this for every song, but the drops are just so beautiful. The vocal in the drop worked so well, to the point that I couldn't help but laugh in disbelief what I was hearing. Also, you have to appreciate the snare. Usually I don't point out the snares to the drums themselves, but the way Kasbo overlaid the claps on top of them sounded so clean. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a 10. Next is Kataris. I can't quite pinpoint it, but this track just feels so warm, relaxing, and cozy. Maybe it's the instruments or the talking throughout the track, I'm not sure, but there's just something serene about it when you listen. Also, the woodwinds here it's so beautiful, for real. I literally cannot explain the feeling in words. It is just that good. I'm going to give this a 9, but it is very, very close to a 10, so I'm just going to say a 9, but it's probably closer to a 9.5. And the next track here is Resonar, and hopefully I pronounced that right. But as you guys might know, I'm a fan of when the tracks are long, but as you guys probably also know, when a track is long, especially when it's really long, the reason for it being long has to be justified, so it's not just long for the sake of being long. and here at first listen, I didn't think there was too much of a reason, but now listening to it as a part of the full album, it seems like the song, though on its own not offering too much, serves as a really good mood changer for the whole album, shifting the tone of the album really smoothly, which is actually quite clever. So I'm gonna give this a 7. And the second to last track here is This Is It, and I can imagine this as like a Carry Your Name Part 2. This song shares a lot of the same characteristics, so obviously I'm going to love it for the same reasons. In my opinion though, I know this is a small detail, but I think the synths are executed better here, so I'm going to give this an 8. And the final track here is, of course, Learning of Urgency. This track is very different from the rest of the tracks from the album because there's no proper drops, but it serves as a nice closing note for the album, but probably won't be adequate for listening as a single. So I'm gonna give this a 7. This was a solid outro for the album. And now for the overall sort of review, I guess. Overall, this album really did shock me. You know, I thought The Making of a Paracosm and Places We Don't Know were good, but this is just way above the others. Even though not all of the tracks were perfect individually, the way they all served a purpose and worked together when you listen to the album as a whole is so satisfying. And yeah, it really does create a really high quality and amazing listening experience. This is definitely going to be one of the best albums of 2024, without a doubt in my mind. So, of course, drumroll please, this is the overall rating. The overall rating for this album, I'm going to give this album a 9. Again, just for the reasons I listed above, this is just so much better than the other two Kasbo albums. So I'm really happy this got released, and I'm definitely going to be playing this album on repeat for the next little while. But please tell me your thoughts on the album in the comments. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you think it was only okay? But yeah, with that, I'm going to end this video now, and if you like this video at any point, please like, subscribe, and press the notification bell so you will not miss a future upload. Now, get out of here.